Hello and welcome to the African Descendants Forum. My name is Dr. Milton Brown, and today I'm joined by Carol Burrell, a community wellbeing coordinator with the Canal River Trust in Nottingham. Carol's work focuses on improving both mental and physical health by reconnecting communities with local waterways, in particular, those global majority communities that are often underrepresented. Through innovative initiatives like Swim Sister Swim and Man Dem Swim, Carol is helping to build confidence, challenge perceptions, and create a safer environment and reimagine the waterways as a more inclusive spaces for all. Carol, it's a pleasure to have you with us. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's nice and sunny, a bit breezy, but it's nice and sunny here.
I would really love for you to share what your role is as a wellbeing coordinator. And what's the day-to-day work involved? And how do you kind of engage with communities?
Yeah, sure. My role, my job title has changed. We're now engagement coordinators. So we're doing the same thing, but it's just changed. And my role is to connect with local people for the trust to make sure they're aware of our waterways and the benefits they can gain from being on or near the water, and bring local communities down to the water. That's my role, really, and highlight what the Canal River Trust do.
One of the standout projects you've had in terms of your engagement and role is Swim Sister Swim. Can you share a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, I think I'm really proud of Swim Sister Swim. And in a nutshell, what it is, it's to give African Caribbean Black women the confidence to be near the water. And the confidence starts with not being afraid of the water. So we created a swim program called Swim Sister Swim. And it's about having a safe space for Black women to learn to swim and just share their experiences and their fears about being near the water or in the water.
I guess if you're not from the African descent community, you wouldn't probably understand the fear of the water. Can you touch on a little bit of what perhaps the women were saying, why they don't go near the water?
Yeah, and before I say that, I will say that the fears that they have, I truly understand, because I was experiencing the same fears before I came to the trust to work for the trust. And you know, when I started working at the trust and we was delivering these fantastic activities for people to support with their mental well-being, I was noticing that Black people, especially Black women, weren't taking advantage of these programs, free activities that we were delivering. So I did some research. I spoke to people that I knew. I went into communities that I knew. I spoke to people that I didn't know. And the overwhelming response was being afraid of the water. A huge part of that was not being able to swim, which lacked confidence in doing other things. A massive thing was hair care. You know, the pool water and our hair, our afro hair, our coily hair, our 4C hair, the effects of that. So that was a massive thing. And also everyone was just like, that dirty water's not for me in the canal. So I truly understood what they were saying, because I was feeling the same things.
So how did you get around this thing?
I spoke with my immediate line manager about the things that I was being told and the things that I knew anyway, to say that we needed to take some steps back so we could build up the confidence. And once the confidence would be built up, people would then get involved with the paddle activities that we do, or walking on the towpath, or cycling on the towpath. So it was about having conversation with management for them to understand where we're at as a community and why we're not accessing the water.
So you taught them how to swim, and that process from teaching them how to swim in the pool, how did that transfer to the canal waterways?
So I was very clear about what the program needed to be. And ultimately, it was to bring Black women down to our canals and our rivers, more so our canals. So I was clear with them that it's not just about swimming and then you go. It was about learning to swim for 10 weeks and then having a go at canoeing at the end for 4 weeks. And I just had to keep reiterating that all the way through. So that's how we got the women canoeing as well towards the end. And we built it in. It was a constant thing that we talked about. And we built it in because not only did we do the swimming, we also had workshops after the swim. So each week we'd have a social element of it where the women would gather. On our first cohort, we'd have lunch together and talk about experiences of what it was like to even think about learning to swim, to things that would happen during the swimming lessons. So we'd have a debrief really in the hour afterwards. And then on some of those sessions, we'd have workshops. And the four main ones were water safety. And then we had one on hair care. So I brought in a hair expert who talked about how to treat your hair prior to swimming, whilst you're swimming, and directly after. And that was really, really popular. Because we was introducing canoeing, we brought down a swim coach to come and meet the women, bring equipment that you'd use while canoeing, and just get to know them. That was with Andy Orton, he's phenomenal. And then we had a psychotherapist, Dawn Walters, that came along, and she looked at the barriers we face when in the water or being near the water and why we don't swim. So we looked at trauma, historical trauma. We looked at myths that are around. We looked at being constantly told that we as Black people, we're heavier and we can't swim. And so she just broke it down and gave people the space to work through these myths and things that we've heard over the years.
You know, I'm so impressed with what you just said there. It sounds like a real 360, inclusive, deep dive, granular project in it, from hair, psychology, swimming, etc., etc. How much do you think your role to connect with the African Caribbean community women, it was essential in the success of this project?
I think it was pivotal in what this program is about. I'm just in a unique position where I've done community engagement all my working life. So I know the community and I would say I'm respected in the community. And then I have this role with the Canal River Trust where I'm an engagement coordinator. So for me, it's really important that you get the right person from the community who can connect with the community. So the other thing is that I created the program. So I understand how this program should work. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to listen to people along the way because it's just a learning process, isn't it? All the time. But I created it. I knew how I needed it to go to benefit the community, but also to benefit the trust.
And what's the successes? Can you share with us a few successes, please?
I can. So today we connected with over 150 women. And I'd say about maybe 110, 120 now call themselves swimmers. What they've done is they've made social connections and they've linked up with other women and they go swimming together. Almost all of them had a go at canoeing. We entered a bellboat competition in Birmingham, having not done any kind of paddling before they came to this program, not really knowing what we was doing, and we came joint first runners up, all that. And on the back of that, I've had some women who signed up to be volunteers with the trust, and because they've gained the benefits from it, but they've also gone on and trained as swim teachers so they can continue to support this program. And then I've had Black women that already swim out in the community, heard about the program, and they wanted to support the program and make sure that it continues. So they also, I paid for 6 women to go on to be swim assistants and swim teachers, and it is phenomenal. And then I suppose on the back of that, we're now launching in Birmingham with my colleague Amat, who's fantastic, knows the community in Birmingham, so made great connections. And then we're launching Mandem Swim as well to get the men swimming, and that's because of the success of Swim Sister Swim, and the women wanted men in their lives to also gain the benefits so it can cascade down to young people coming up.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate yourself and Canal River Trust and the women for remarkable successes. I always say, from your givers access, we'll just run with it, yeah? And I think what you did was open up a corridor of opportunity, and these
Yeah.
women have just absolutely grabbed it. So well done to you, well done to your team, and big up the sisters for me next time you sit, please. Yeah.
Thank you. They've
Yeah.
embraced it. And did I say that we've won awards on the back of this? I
No,
keep
no, touch me
forgetting.
on that, please.
Yeah, so we've won awards with This Girl Can for the volunteers, won Volunteer of the Year for the awards. I won, we won an Equity Award with the Integrated Care Board in Nottingham and Nottinghamshire. I won an award with This Girl Can for being an unsung hero, and lots of internal awards. So it's the program that keeps on giving.
Man them can swim, or man them swim. Was that about the guys feeling a bit left out, or was it more encouragement from the women to get involved?
It is more encouragement from the women to get involved. And I do need to add that this wouldn't have been made possible if Sport England didn't fund it. So it's been funded by Sport England. And once we've gone through the course of Swim Sister Swim, and we've actually delivered 3 cohorts. And on the last cohort, there was 2 separate classes, all Swim Sister Swim. We don't get a great amount of black men that take advantage of these activities that we're delivering. So, so with the 2 things thrown together, what we noticed in the trust and what the women were telling us, Mandem Swim came about.
And how far you are with the development of Mandem Swim?
So in Nottingham, we roll out our first course next week, Monday, which is the 11th of May, which is the same day we roll out Swim Sister Swim in Birmingham. So, yeah.
Excellent. And how many have you got signed up for this?
So prior to starting, we do an information session so people are fully aware what's expected so they can make an informed decision. So we did one last week and I had 10 men sign up, and I've got one tomorrow where I've got 10 men registered to come along. So, but I've had inquiries from at least 35 men to join it. But people inquire and then some don't come and then more come. So it'll be after tomorrow. We really do know how many are signing up for it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I wish you all the success with that
Thank you.
initiative as well. Looking ahead, what is your vision for the future of canals? There's a lot of discussion going on up here in the north around reimagining the waterways. I'm really interested to hear your vision of how we can reimagine the waterways.
I just think our canals and rivers, but our canals, they just go through all the communities throughout England and Wales. And they go through lots of urban communities, lots of countryside. So it's easily accessed for a lot of people. And I just want to make sure that all communities are aware that these canals are here, that will run through the areas that they live in, and that all communities access the canals. And by that, we need to tell the stories of the canals. And that's my hope for it. And then we can look at all the different things that we can do whilst we're accessing the canals and we're looking at the rivers. So it's just about embracing the canals that we've got, bringing them back to life, but telling the stories that are really important so that people will want to access it and find out more.
Wonderful. Carol, I want to thank you for sharing your inspiring work and insights with us today. I'm truly inspired. I've got loads of ideas to take to our Canal River Trust here in Huddersfield and across West Yorkshire. Your efforts are not only improving health and well-being, but also reshaping how communities connect with the natural spaces around them. So keep it going, yeah? And wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And to our audience, thank you for joining us for this conversation with the African Descendants Forum. Stay tuned for more discussions that celebrate impact, innovation, and community empowerment. Bye for now.